Hello guys, this is the Jesus Status, and I'm going to bring you a gameplay on Operation Metro 2014, I think that's what it said, right? On the Xbox One. Now, basically what I'm going to be showing you on this video is how exactly you're going to want to rush forward, and there is a right way to do it and a wrong way to do it. Right way is, as soon as you spawn in, yes, on this map, you're going to want to go left side. Let all the other drones go right side. I say that playfully, please don't get offended. Basically the reason I say that is because left side there's going to be a lot less enemies, it's going to be a lot easier to arm, and later on if you don't take it, it's going to be a lot harder to take. You always want to start with the hardest objective first, take it, make it easy. Bravo is actually a really easy objective to take because they have a lot of cover right there, and they have basically the entire wall of teammates going ahead and covering them. On Objective Alpha, it's funny to say, but it's a tighter space, even though this is such an open area. Tighter space because you basically, everyone's going to be piled up right there behind these little borders, not even letting you get close to Alpha, and if they do, they're going to be disarming it pretty quickly because it's going to be hard to take later on. As you can see though, we took both Alpha and Bravo pretty quickly. So this, honestly, I think it took actually like a minute and 40 seconds for us to take, something like that. So, right here, as you saw the little transition and all the teammates in the front now behind me, the reason for that is actually going to be because on the Xbox One, when you're recording with the game DVR, it needs to be cut up into 5-minute intervals. It's nice that they give us the option to actually record clips, and if you're smart, you can actually work around that. Like I said, you can edit the clips together and just work with that. There's ways to actually record longer clips, but the thing about that is you can't upload them to SkyDrive. So it's kind of pointless making longer clips because, I mean, they're not going to load, and it's actually a pain in the butt because then you have to be checking on the game DVR and then to go back in. It's just a pain. Don't even bother with it. So right here, we can give this guy some health the way a teammate should. And I'm going to die right here. And the teammate's actually going to pick me up in front of the enemies as they launch an incendiary at me. Incendiary at me. Sorry about that. And, you know, little impacts. Not what you want to do as a teammate. Typically when you revive someone, you're not doing it for the points, you're doing it for them getting back up and helping out your team, so you want to make sure they're safe. Usually when I revive someone, it's actually because I know they're going to survive. Very rarely will I pick someone up otherwise, only if we're in a very, very tight situation. I know that if I don't, we might just lose the match. That's the only time I really will do that, because then they at least have a chance of making us not lose. I always like to arm at least one objective, just because that way I feel like I'm being a little bit more useful. This guy had no chance. And when you're retreating, you definitely want to cover your approach like that. Use those extinguishers, they're so useful. Also, when you're defending things, always want to hide somewhere by your objective. Don't go running around trying to get kills. Trust me, the kills will come. The kills will come. As long as you're doing what you have to do and you're not dying, the kills are going to come. They're going to stack up. Now, yeah, I guess if you're incredible at this game and you never die, then yeah, go ahead, run around. Go ahead, do what you have to do to get those kills. But for the most part, try to at least defend your objective, especially if there's only a few tickets left. Don't go trying to get kills in the end when there's only a few tickets left. Watch that ticket counter. If you see it in the 40s, go ahead, get your kills. 40s or above. Anything lower than 40s, you definitely want to do it only the objective. Focus primarily on that objective. Now, this screen that you're seeing right here, that's a screen that's actually going to stay on for, I guess you could say half the match. Because right here, I get revived, and funny thing about getting revived with that screen on, that screen stays on. Especially if you were in there past the little timer, that screen stays on the entire time, and there's no way to fix that. It just stays like that the entire gameplay, or until you die. Usually it's until you die. I've had it happen a couple times where it just didn't come off though, and I actually had to leave the match for it to get off. It was really hard to see, but regardless, as long as there's a little yellow dot over their head, it's pretty easy to see. Because as you can tell, everything's hard to see except for the objectives and teammates and, well, the enemies if they've been spotted. Easiest thing to see. Apart from that, that's actually kind of why I'm hiding now. Or at least why I didn't even bother trying to get a kill. I do want to watch the objective I just armed, but also I don't want to get killed just because I can't see anything. But don't worry, I will be getting some kills, at least in this form. I say some, I should say 2. Always, if you're going to be a medic, guys, always drop them a health pack. You know, whether you think they need it or not, just drop it. Helps them out. It might not help them out, it might help a different teammate out. This right here is cool, collapse bonus. That is awesome. I really like the way they added that. Another little transition right here. That right there kind of makes the Operation Metro worth playing for me. I mean, little things like that, the details, how they look. You can't really see right now how good the above map looks. It doesn't look as blue as it did before. I like it. I like it a lot. It's a really nice map. I gotta say, on Battlefield 3, not my favorite map, probably just because every single server was just spamming it back when, you know, you can actually rent out your own server and pick out the maps you wanted. It was always one of those maps that was just spammed out, and I like it, but I don't like it when I've been playing it, you know, 3 times in a row. You know, I go into a server Operation Metro, go into a different server Operation Metro. Here, no chance of that, at least not yet. Another thing, guys, whenever you're rushing, you might want to do this every now and again. You want to rush forward before it actually allows you to. Make sure you do count a little bit, count to 10 before you run, as soon as you arm that objective though. So, once you do that, or once it at least says the base secured, you know, that way you actually have a little bit of a lead on them, and you can start running forward, getting here. Unfortunately, they were ready. There was a little claymore set up right by that telling me they were right there. I should have been a little bit more cautious. I wasn't. It got defused. Regardless, it's not such a big deal. We do still have 99 tickets or something like that, right? Let's see. Yeah, it was a good 98 tickets left, so not a huge deal. Making mistakes like that when you have that many tickets, you don't really have to worry about it. Like I said, it's when you're under 40 tickets. You want to take everything seriously. You want to play as hard as you can. You don't want to mess around whatsoever, because then you're going to lose. And maybe you don't care about losing, but your teammates do. And it's best to just keep the Battlefield community as happy as possible, considering that there's so much to be mad at, you know, game developers, things like that, for the game not being properly fixed. Me personally, I haven't really had any issues except for on the Xbox 360 Dawn Guard. And of course, when the game first came out, everyone had issues then. But for the most part, really hadn't had too many issues, especially on the Xbox One. It's been running pretty well for me. I've had a couple frame rate drops, but apart from that, not really ever any issues. So, I like it. It's not too bad. And I really love the Battlefield series. I've loved it since Battlefield Bad Company 2. And Battlefield 3, a lot of people say it wasn't that great, but me personally, I loved it. Maybe it's because I had teammates to play with, and that squad function was just perfect for me. This guy takes me out. Oh, no, not him. I forgot. I got knifed. Oh, those guns. The pistols are amazing. I love the pistols. It's just with a silencer, they become so weak. Now, trust me, I am gonna end up winning this this objective over. Like I said, I always try to arm at least one objective. Here, I get taken out by a shotgun with a duck bill. Now, guys, I'm gonna be trying to center this channel around you. So even though initially I'm gonna be making videos of basically whatever I want, when I do start getting subscribers and them giving me their feedback, I want to hear what you guys want to see. I'm not gonna just keep playing something and you guys saying, oh, I want to see this type of video, or I want to see this type of game type or something, and you go ahead and keep doing what I'm doing, because that's not the way you want to do things on YouTube. You actually want to listen to those subscribers. So people who start off with me in the beginning, trust me, you will have the largest input on what we will be seeing, what we will be doing, things like that. As you can see, the FAMAS actually just tears things up. It's extremely strong. Not that strong when an enemy is strafing, but when they're standing still, a couple shots, they're down, they're done. Here I'm going to arm the objective, and we are going to get this one. At this point, we basically all just push them back. They're not even able to leave their spawn. They do make an attempt. This guy makes an attempt. He sprints back, and he's done. No chance. Sorry, buddy. Those recons with their assaults. You know, that's actually something you want to see a little bit more often. When you got a recon, he's got a carbine, they become a lot more useful. I mean, not every time is a sniping time, you know? Unless you're like a pro quickscoper. Now, at the end of this video, I do have a couple extra bonus clips for you guys. Tell me what you think. Tell me which one you like the most. One is me basically tearing things up in a tank. The other one is me actually sacrificing myself for the good of the team. Both are something you always want to see. Me personally, I'm a tank jockey, so you will see me kind of tear things up a little bit on this. This was only for the first objective. I only showed you this one because after this it kind of went downhill. Our teammates kind of started acting silly. They weren't really going for the objective. They were kind of just watching it. They let all our things get destroyed and stolen, and that's something else, guys. When you're in a tank, if you get damaged, stay with your tank. Don't leave it. I understand it's a death, but that's the difference between a win and a loss. If there's only 3 tanks on the match and your team is supposed to have 2 of them, and you give one to an enemy, trust me when I say they're going to do everything they can to keep that damn tank. Don't let it get taken, please, guys. See this way too often on 360, on Xbox One, hell, a couple times when I play PC, every single time. So please try your best to just stay with the tank. Just die like a hero, alright? Over here, the infantry finally coming along, the engineers. Gotta love them. Taking them out at every single chance. Unfortunately, since I was being kind of a doof earlier, and I was just firing off rounds without any enemies being around, I kind of, I fired all my rounds, and now that you have to reload. That's something I kind of like about Battlefield 4, though. You have to be a little bit more careful with your rounds, because they have to they have to reload, and then it actually has to get loaded in, and it can leave you really vulnerable, so you have to play smart. You have to make sure you're destroying the right things, you know? There'll be times like right now. There was this guy right here. I killed him, but wasn't able to kill his teammate because I was out of shots, so I just had to roll back a little bit. Luckily, I think he actually runs over to the left right now. He just sprints around. Oh no, it's actually someone else. So let's see, this tank right here. Here's a prime example. They're actually going to try to take one of our tanks, but luckily that tank was already almost completely destroyed thanks to their teammates, and it gets annihilated. Best thing to see. And it's actually funny, the engineers aren't paying any attention to me. They're actually focusing primarily on my teammates, completely destroying them both. I still have 100 health. Now, finally, that I'm the last one left, they're starting to focus on me a little bit. Luckily, I do have a gunner with me, so he's going to help me out just a little bit. And that's something else, guys. I know being a gunner isn't the most fun job in the world, but even if you're just playing with a friend, or if you're not, try to be that gunner for the tank. It really helps out a lot. You can take out a lot of people playing, trying to plant C4. You can really be a very strong player just by being a gunner, especially on maps that don't have too many tanks. But that really depends on your tank driver. If they're bad, it's not really going to matter how good you are. If they're good, though, definitely try to step up your game a little bit. So this right here is the end of this clip. Hope you liked me being a little tank jockey right there, trying to take out as many people as I can. And always arm that objective. Always defend that objective in a little secret spot. And finally, last clip, me being, well, the sacrifice. My gamertag is the Jesus status. I'm not trying to be religious, it's mostly just for laughs. There's a long story behind that gamertag. You can always ask me if you want, I'll explain it to you. Here, right here, gonna jump on the tank, scare him away. I know they're always afraid of C4. And I don't know if what killed me was the tank running back and getting a roadkill, or him actually gunning me down. And as you see, we get the defuse. So I hope you guys have a good